Hey, this is Drew Page. Welcome to the Drew Page channel. In this video, we are going to talk about divorces courtesy of Billy Ray Cyrus and Trish Cyrus. So a few hours ago, People magazine had a story that Billy Ray Cyrus and Trish, his wife, were getting a divorce and moving in the direction again. Now, this isn't the first time. I think they've done it two other times, once in 2013 and again maybe in 2018, something like that. But the story says that they are divorcing again, and they're or filing for divorce again, and they're doing so under the provision for irreconcilable differences. Now, irreconcilable differences is a Tennessee process for divorce, and one thing you need to know about divorces is divorces are state specific. So just because a divorce is allowed for one thing in one state doesn't mean it's going to be the same for this state. So for example, in Tennessee, here's what the code says about irreconcilable differences. In Tennessee Code 36-4-103, paragraph C, it says bills for divorce on the ground of irreconcilable differences must have been on file for 60 days before being heard if the parties have no unmarried children under 18, and must have been on file at least 90 days before being heard if the parties have an unmarried child under 18 years of age. The 60-day or 90-day period bills for divorce that must be on file shall commence on the date the original bill was filed, and not on the date the bill was amended to include the ground of irreconcilable differences. So that's basically a no-fault divorce for Tennessee. Now, in Virginia, for example, my home state, there is no provision for irreconcilable differences. It simply says that in order for a no-fault divorce to go forward, a party must either wait 1 year, have been separated for 1 year if they have children together, or if they have no children and they've entered into a signed written separation agreement, they can be divorced after being separated for 6 months. So that is what a no-fault divorce is. And again, that's state specific. So any of this information is given just for educational purposes. If you're looking to get a divorce, you need to either hire me or go consult with your own personal attorney to deal with your specific state and your specific circumstances. But essentially, Billy Ray and Trish are filing for a no-fault divorce here. Now, it doesn't say in the story whether they have a separation agreement that was a result of the previous divorce filings. If I had to guess, I would say they probably do, where they already have divided out in the event that they do get a divorce, who's going to get what and where, because they probably had already seen the light a couple of other times, and they don't want to have a big drawn out process where they're dividing all of their assets and royalties and other things. And so if they're going under an irreconcilable differences, you certainly have the ability to contest things and then ultimately come back and do a divorce under irreconcilable differences. To do that, though, you would be essentially arguing either on fault grounds or, for example, in Virginia, you could file for a no-fault divorce but still argue things like equitable distribution, spousal support, custody, visitation, child support, and all of those things. Now, fault divorces are things, for example, in Tennessee and Virginia, things like adultery, cruelty, desertion, abandonment, someone being convicted of a crime and being incarcerated for some period of time. Those are fault grounds, and there may be others, bigamy, sodomy, all those other kinds of things that could be fault grounds for divorce. So if you're proceeding on those, then obviously that's going to be something that people are going to be arguing about. But that's not what we have here in this case. In this case, we have a suit. Bill is essentially a complaint. So that's what starts the process. So the bill for the grounds of irreconcilable differences is a complaint for divorce on the grounds of irreconcilable differences that they have filed here. So it'll be interesting to see how this progresses. Maybe they'll reconcile like they did the previous two times. Maybe they won't. But as the story unfolds, if there's an agreement already in place, then you're probably not going to hear all about the things that are being divided out and separated and all of those things. And even if there isn't, they're likely to probably do something in mediation or arbitration where everything is quietly done as opposed to throwing everything in court. But if they can't agree on things, then it's a possibility that these things may end up in court. So that's the kind of methods that you need to think through if you're looking into getting a divorce. That's kind of the process of the beginning phase. So if this case progresses, so that I can give some education on how a case progresses through a divorce, then I'll do that. If I see it in any other circumstances, I'll do that as well. I hope you found this video helpful. Please subscribe to the channel, like this video, hit the notification bell, and until next time, stay tuned.